if we'll discuss about the string manipulation. So first of all, just you have to understand, okay, how many ways to define your string in case of JavaScript. Okay, which method you gonna use to define your JavaScript here. Okay, so the first of all, I'm gonna enter the boilerplate. Okay, so here, so let me share my screen. Okay, I have already shared, that's cool, my bad. So let me enter the boilerplate, and I have entered the boilerplate of the JavaScript here in my HTML, and now just we have to write our code. To write our JavaScript code, so let me insert a one script tag, and I'm gonna write my JavaScript code inside the script tag. So first of all, let's suppose I want to define a one string here, okay, and how many way you can simply define a string. Just I'm gonna use this method to define a string here, name, or either just you can simply put any name here. So let me put Python train. Okay, this is a normal thing what I have done. So now I have defined a one variable name, and inside the name I have initialized a one string, right? Now the point, let's suppose if I'm gonna open a one browser to execute my code as well. Okay, so open the browser successfully, and now let me initialize the site as well. Might be it's better visible. So let me click on go live, and you will be able to see your web page on top of browser. So the point is, let's suppose if you want to write the form of as it is in your string, just I'm gonna use a document. I'm gonna write the string, what the initial value of the name. Okay, so what happened, you would be able to see a string on top of web browser. The point is, there's a multiple method to manipulate. Okay, what is the meaning of manipulate actually? So let's suppose is if you're gonna count a number of length of your string, okay, there's a multiple character you have in your string, and sometimes you don't want to print your whole string. Okay, you want to print Python only, or either if you have a very huge string, okay, you want to count a specific character, how many times your character will be occur in your string, or either you can also manipulate this. This is a sentence title case what I have used here. Either you can simply manipulate into a lower case or upper case. Okay, so for introduce that particular function, so let me open a one PDF. Okay, so these are the methods, guys, what we have to learn. So now if you will discuss about the string, so string is a very popular data type, just we have to understand. Okay, and now this is, it will not store inside the array, just string is a normal single string you wanna use it. So what are the inbuilt functions we will discuss here? So there's a huge number of inbuilt function you will find along with a string, just like if you will discuss about the concat. So what it will do for you, it will combine the text of two or more string and return a new string. Okay, so what does it mean? If you want to add multiple string and you want to assign all the string into a one string, just you can simply use the concat function for that. Or either you can also use a plus method instead of using this. You can simply use a directly method as well. Just you have to use the plus operator there, right? And just you can simply concat a multiple string and assign all the string into a new variable as well. So there's a two method you can simply use. The second, if you will discuss about the index of function, so what it will do for you, so it will return the starting index of the substring, okay, within the another string. Another point, if you would not be able to find the substring inside the string, so it will return -1 in case if you would not be able to find, so on that case only it will return the -a. Okay, so once you will get the -1, so what does it mean? Because you would not be able to find, that's actually equivalent to the error. So, and how can you simply use all these type of functions? So let me show you the one by one. So the first of all, let's suppose if you will discuss about the first function, I'm gonna tell about the index of, right? So let's suppose this is your string, if you are able to see, and I'm gonna open my browser as well. So you want to check it out. Let's suppose I would like to check the string, I would like to check the index of t, right? Because this is a string whatever you are using here. So what I'm gonna do, just I'm gonna use a name here, okay? And once I have typed the name, just you can simply use all those methods. The point is, sometimes if you are using a Visual Studio Code, due to some lack of extension, I will not be able to get my old features here. Okay, so if you want tab completions, okay, if you want auto completions in your JavaScript, so what I'm gonna recommend, just I'm gonna create a new file to understand in a better way. So just I'm gonna create a new file for JavaScript. Okay, I will get the tab completions there because I didn't get any tab completions here. So just not to worry, because only I have to create a one more file here. Okay, I'll create a string.js. I'm gonna link my string.js inside the string.html. Okay, and here I'm gonna link that particular file. Oops, script source, and the file name is still string.js. That's cool. Just you can simply remove. I'm gonna cut from here, and that's it. Open the string.js. I'm gonna paste all these things here. There's a no need for the string tag here. Just you can simply direct write to JavaScript, whatever you have. Okay, that's how you're gonna use. Okay, so let me save again. If you are able to see, the whole thing is fine. So now the point is, if I'm gonna use a name here, okay, this is a JavaScript file what I'm using here. So I would like to use some functions of the name. Okay, which type of function I'm gonna use? So I'm gonna use a one index of functions. So if you will use an index of functions, so it will return an index of each and every element what you want to search. So I'm gonna use this function index of. Okay, so just here you have to type any string. So I'm gonna type a t here, and you want to print that particular statement on top of browser screen as well. So just for that, just you need to use a same statement what I have used earlier. Either you can also use a console.log to print all these statements on top of console. So you can simply use all these options on top of console to understand all the features of this. Okay, now it's your choice what you're gonna use it. So let me do a line break between the statements. Okay, you'll be able to see in a perfect way. And I'm gonna use the same method, document.write. Okay, and what I want to write, so I want to write what it will return to you. Just and look at this, what it will return to you, it will return the 7. Because if you will count the index number of your all string, okay, what is actually index number? If you will tell about the index number here, so index number will always start from 0. Okay, so the index number of p is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the space is also have a unique index number. Each and every character in your string have their own unique index number. So just look at this. So these are the some few examples. Just you can simply write down all the index number, let it be, and so on. So the index number of t, if you are able to see, this is 7, right? And now this particular line, just I have used a comment sign. Okay, now this line will not be executed. That's why it will not give any error. So just look at this. If you're gonna check out the index of t, you are able to see 7 here. Instead of t, if you want to check out the index number of small t, okay, just save this and you will get the 2, because just you can simply count the index number of t is 2 here. That's why you are able to see 2 here. So that's how you can simply check out the index number of any element. Now the point is, there's a more functions you're gonna use. You can simply concat the string as well. There's a one more feature, you can also use char at. Okay, so what is actually this function will do for you? So if you're gonna use this function here, just I'm gonna use the same method, name dot char add, and inside this function, so if you want to tell the index number, okay, if I'm gonna type the 5 here, so it will return the character on which exists on index number 5. So this is a vice versa. In case of index of, you will get the index number of that particular character, but when you will use a caret function, so it will return the character of that particular string. So I'm gonna mention this inside the document, or either you can use console.log. Okay, so if you're gonna use a console.log here, just you have to open the console as well. Okay, because on top of console you will get the output whatever you're gonna print from there. Okay, so let me open the console, and now this is a console in developer tool. You will be able to find out, and now most of the time the console has been used to debug your JavaScript. Okay, whatever you will get here, so all the output you would be able to see on top of console. So I'm gonna save this particular script, and once I'm gonna save using the live server extension, it will be automatically executed. Okay, once I have saved successfully, just look at this, what it will return to you. Okay, there's a one issue what I have done, so let me check it out. That's cool. So if we will discuss, so returns the character at a specific index, and I have mentioned the 5 here, and the char at, okay, this is a name and blah. Yep, there's few questions you have, guys. Let me troubleshoot first of all. So what the mistake I have done, so let me check it out. Okay, the name variable is char at, I'm gonna use 5, that's cool. Okay, so let me change one another index here. Let's try to fetch the index number 2 still. Okay, that's cool. Let me go live one more time. What is the output? Actually, this particular file is not executed. Might be there's an issue, because of what the issue I have done. This is cool. Right. And now, just give me a moment, guys. String.js, that's cool. Comment the line. Okay, now that's fine. So I want to print the output of this particular index. Oh, got it. So just look at this. Instead of executing here, we can also do the rapidly testing of these all functions on top of console. That will be a nice idea instead of using JavaScript file, but you can also do, there's no issue. But if you want to do a rapidly changes all things, just it will give you the instant output on top of console if you're going to check it out all these things. So I'm going to create variables directly here, because you can also do some basic testing on top of the console as well. So what I'm going to do, just I'm going to mention a one variable, just what I have defined there, name, and inside the name I'm going to mention the Python training. Let me zoom it a little bit. Now it's fine. This is a variable I have defined. If you want to print the value of this variable, and just look at this, this is a Python training. Either you can also print this variable using the console.log. All these features you would be able to see. There's a no issue. You can simply execute your JavaScript code on top of console as well. Okay, you will get the value. Now the point, what I need to do, just I need to use a char at function. Just you can simply use this function as well. Okay, and inside the function, now you have to pass any index number. When I'm gonna pass, if I want to print the whole value, and this is your whole value, what I want to do, I want to print a particular character from my string. Just I'm gonna pass a index number 0, so you will get the capital P, right? If I'm gonna pass 7 here, so what it will give you the capital T. So that's how the char at function is work. And whatever index you're gonna pass, if you will pass the 10 here, so it will give you this particular index. So that's how the char at function is work in your string manipulations. So there's one more thing you can simply use, guys. If you are trying to search an index of any another thing as well, just if I'm gonna use this particular function, okay, or what happened, I'm gonna use a one very big string as well. This is Python training, and this is web development. Okay, so this is a normal sample what I have used. So now the point, if I'm gonna use a index of function again here, okay, so let's suppose if you are trying to search a index number of is, so what happens, so it will give you 2, but if you are able to see, this is a string, okay, right, this is here, you are able to see the point, but this is a one more is, if you are able to see inside this. So if you're gonna calculate the index number of 5, so I is represent on top of second index, that's why you are able to see. But what happen if you want to search an index number of next is, just what you need to do, just you have to pass a 1 comma. Once you have successfully passed a comma here, just you have to pass another argument, and the another argument will be the starting point of your searching of the index number. So let's suppose I have already find a one is on top of second index. So I want to search the is right now from the third index. when it will try search from the third index, so next is will be find on top of fifth index. Just look at this. So you will get this output. Now if you have successfully find is on top of 5 index as well, you want to search the next one as just we can simply mention the 6 here. So when it will try to search a next is occurrence in your whole string, and the next is will represent on top of 30 index. That's why you are able to see. So that's how you can simply use the index of function here. So now just we have to discuss about the last index of as well. Okay, in the last index of there's some little bit similarities you are gonna find out index of and the last index of. Actually in case of last index of, so it will try to search the index from the previous, right? So just look at this, it will return the index within the string of the last occurrence of the specified value. So the point is, if you want to search the index number of is, so it will not search this particular is, so it will search from the backward. So it will give you the index number of this particular is first of all if you're gonna try to search using this method. Just look at this. So the last is represent on top of 33 index. Okay, and if you want to change the functionalities of this, just you can simply also use, you don't want to search from 33, you want to search the string from 32. So the other one find out on 30. If you want to search on 29, so the just look at this. Now it will search your string from the 29 string, means from H. So now which particular is it will find. So this particular is will be found by this function. That's why you will get the 5. So that's how there's some multiple similarities you're gonna find out, or there's a little bit changes you would be able to see in case of a string manipulation. Just you have to remember all these things. Most of the time it will ask this type of questions from you. What's the difference between the index of, what's the difference between the last index of as well. So let me go to the next function, whatever we will use here. So now we have to discuss about the match. If you will discuss about the match, so match is nothing, just it will used to match irregular expressions against a string. Okay, what does it mean? So let's suppose if we have a string here, if I'm gonna print, this is my whole string. If you want to search a one regular expressions, if you want to search a particular string inside the data, okay, and when you will use a match function, so once your regular expression will be matched along with the regular expressions in the data, so it will represent that particular string, whatever you wanna find out inside the data. Okay, so what does it mean? Let me show you. So let's suppose if I'm gonna mention the data.match. Okay, so just look at this. Now it will give you the one array. So what I'm gonna do here, you can simply use irregular expressions here. Let's suppose if I want to search a one specific pattern, you can simply use a multiple regular expressions. Okay, so let's suppose I want to search is here. Okay, and I want to search, just look at this. Now is fine, there's a no issue inside the is, and now on which index number, so this is the one is you have find, on which index number you have find, index number second. The point sometime, let's suppose okay, so I'm back guys. So here what I mean, so let's suppose if you want to search all the occurrence of the is, just you have to use a one global factor of the regular expression, and that will be a G. What does it mean? So it will return all the occurrence of the is inside the data, and just look at this how it will do for you. So it will return all the occurrence of is, okay, to you. And now if you are able to see, so there's a 4 times is you will be able to find inside the whole statement. You can highlight all the is, the first, the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one. So that's how it will give you the, just you have to search a particular substring inside the string using the regular expressions. So I have used a one basic regular expressions to find the is inside the data. Okay, so let me go to the next function. This is called a substring, and now what it will do for you, so it will give you the one portion of the string. It will return a one portion of the string, and the starting and the ending location is passed into the function. What does it mean? If you're gonna use a substring, okay, so you would be able to use, there's a 3 functions look like the same. There's a one more function you will get the slice, or this is a one more function you will able to get the sub str. Okay, there's a 3 functions would look like the similar, and all these functions I have written here. The first It is a slice, the second one is substring, and the third one is substr. Okay, all the functions look like the same, but all three have a different functionality. So let me explain one of them. So first of all, if you will discuss about the slice, why I'm using a slice here. So the point is, if we were discussing about the data, right? So this is a data. The point, I would like to slice my string here, and what's the method I'm going to slice? So I'm going to use a slice method. So how much you want to slice? So just you have to pass two arguments. The first one is starting point, the second one is end point, right? So what does it mean? Just I can simply mention I want to slice my string from 10th index. So just look at this, when you're going to mention the 10, so it will start you slicing the string from T. Either you can simply use 9 here or 8 might be better. So now it will take you the string from Python. Just look at this. Okay, it will not include this is, because you have started your string slicing from 8th index. Okay, that's how it's work. Either you can simply pass one another argument, you can also pass the end index as well. So let's suppose I'm going to mention 20 here. So or either instead of 20 I can simply mention 23, just or 24, or 23 might be fine. So if I'm going to mention 8 to 23, so it will give you the index number from 8 to 23 using the slice functions. Okay, slice method. So that's how it's work. And if you're going to execute, you will get the Python training from the whole string. Okay, the point is, there's a one more function you can simply use along with it. Let's suppose if you're going to use a substring. Okay, in case of substring, you will get the same thing as well. If you want to start from 8, okay, if you want to add on top of 23, just look at it, there's no issue, right? But the point is, when you will use a slice operator, my bad, when you want to use a slice method, instead of substring, you can also pass a negative index inside the slice. What's the meaning of the negative index? Whatever character series, whatever string you have stored inside the variable, that particular variable have a negative index as well. Okay, so each and everything, whatever you're gonna store inside the string, that particular thing have a positive and the negative index as well. So let's suppose if I'm going to calculate the index number of this, so the positive index from 0 and so on. Okay, so just I can simply write look like this. And if you're going to calculate the negative index, so negative index you have to count from the backward. Okay, and the index, the first index will be the -1. Okay, so the index number of E will be -1 and the index number of V will be the -2. So that's how these index number will be counted. Okay, each and every character have a unique negative index number as well. Okay, this is a method. Now the point, either you can simply fetch this particular character using the forward index, either you can also fetch that particular character from the negative index. You can simply calculate the negative index will be start from the -1, the forward index will be start from the 0. Just you have to remember this thing all, right? So I'm going to comment this section, and now just look at this here. What I want to do, so let's suppose I want to fetch my, this is a whole data you are able to see, right? What I want to do, just I want to fetch, I want to slice. Okay, I want to slice, and what, let's suppose I'm going to mention -10. Okay, what does it mean? Or either I'm going to mention -4. Okay, just look at this. What does it mean? So it will start slicing your string from -4. This is a starting point. And on which index number? If you're going to calculate the -4 index, so if you're going to calculate the -4 index here, just look at this, the -4 index will be for the D, right? And now it will start from the D and it will print until the end. That's how it's work. Either you can also mention the one more, and from until you want to print until -2. So that's how it's works. So it will print from -4 to -2. So that's, you can simply get this particular thing here. Or either you can simply mention -20 to -2. Okay, this is the one thing. Or either you can also use slice from where you want to start. I want to start from 8 and I want to end all the things on top of, let's suppose I want to print Python training. Okay, and this is web, until web. So just I don't have to calculate the index number until web, just I can simply use a negative index there. What's the negative index number of space? So just the index number will be 5, just I can simply mention the -5. And that's how you would be able to slice your string using the negative index as well. But in case of substring, okay, you would not be able to use a negative index. If you're gonna mention, just look at this, there's no issue, you would be able to find your whole string empty, right? So that's how this is the difference between the slice and the substring. Now there's one more function you have to use called substr. Okay, this is a widely used in case of JavaScript as well. What is actually a substr? If you're gonna check it out, the substr here. Okay, so in case of substr, actually just you have to pass the starting point and the length of your string, how much you want. Okay, you don't have to pass the index number of your end element. Just you have to pass the starting point. So let's suppose I want to start from 8th index. I want to start from Python. And after Python, how much character you want to get from here? Just you can simply calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want 6 character. Just you have to pass 6 here. Okay. And just look at this, you will get the Python. Because in case of slice and substring, instead of 6, you have to pass the index number of n. But in case of substr, I don't have to pass the index number of n, just I have to pass the number of characters. Okay, how much character I want 6 characters after the 8th index, and you will get the Python. Either you can mention the how much character you want. I want 20 characters after the p. I want 19 characters. That's cool. This will get the things here. Okay, so all these are the functions you can simply use this method. So there's a more multiple function you can simply discuss, guys, because in case of string there's a huge number of functions you will find out. Just I have written some functions here. Okay, apart from these functions you will find out the more function as well. Just you can simply look at. Okay, so all the list of all these functions you can simply use. So I have write just few of them. Okay, either you can simply use a trim here, trim and there's a huge number of functions. So let's suppose if you want to use a replace, and what do you want to do? Let's suppose I want to replace is, okay, from which character, from which string you want to replace x. So let's suppose I'm gonna use a triple x. Just look at this. So now what does it mean? So you have successfully, you would be able to replace is from the triple x using this method. Okay, just I have used a cross sign here. Okay, so now this particular is have been removed by this particular string, whatever you have mentioned here. Okay, and now what happen if I'm gonna mention this is a way, right? And now this is not a in place function, guys. What does it mean? So it will not change the actual data, whatever you have stored inside the data. Only on that time it will change and it will return that particular data to you. If you want to store that data, you can also store into the new variable. Either sometime if you want to store the same thing inside the same variable, you can also do the same thing. Okay, just on that time, just you have to mention the data before the data. What does it mean? Whatever it will do for you, so it will assign the return statement again into the data, and now this is called in place, right? So I will not execute this statement. I'm gonna use the same data again and again. The point is, if you want to replace all the is statement along with a capital is or something else, just you need to use replace all functions there. Okay, and just look at this. If you are able to see, oops, my bad. Replace all, that's cool. So that's how it's work, guys. If you are able to see the expected output, so it will replace all the occurrence of the is along with the cross sign. And now if you are able to see, that's how it will work. And now you'll be able to get all the final string here. Okay, so this is a method to replace. Okay, just if you want to replace instead of triple x, what I'm going to mention. So let's suppose if you will find out the Python here. So I would like to, what I would like to do, I would like to replace with the capital Python there. So this is what I want to do. Oops, that's good. And instead of, now this is what I want to do. So the point is, so just it will replace the Python from lowercase to uppercase. That's how it works. Okay, now the point is, sometimes you don't want to write your Python here. If okay, if you have a one title case, if you want to manipulate voice, okay, what you want to use there. So on that time, just what you need to do, just you can simply use this method, okay, data to lowercase. So what does it mean? So when I'm gonna use this method, okay, so it will convert your whole string into a lowercase. Just look at this. Whatever you have mentioned using a capital T, just look at this, because my data, I have used a capital T here, but when you're gonna use a lowercase function, so it will convert all the string into the lowercase. Either you can also manipulate into the uppercase as well, guys, and just look at this. You have successfully manipulated a lower string into the uppercase as well. So that's how you can also calculate the length as well. So there's a huge number of features you can simply use along with this string. How many characters you have in your data? This is 44. Okay, so you can store the length of the character, len of data. You can have created another variable. Okay, just look at this. And now if I want to print the length of my data, this is a 44. Just what I have done, I have executed this function. Okay, once it will execute, it will return something to you, and you have stored that particular return statement into the next variable. That's how you can simply do all these type of things. Okay, so these are the functions, guys. Now there is one more difference you have to understand, and in which you have to understand the difference. Just if you're gonna use a search function and the index of function, okay, might be both the function are look like same, because in case of search function, it will execute the search for a match for a regular expression. If you would be able to search any string inside the string, okay, you will get the index number of that. Otherwise, it will give you the -1. Okay, and along with the search, you have used also the index of as well. And what's the difference? You're gonna find out, because in case of index of, just you have passed few string here along with the next index statement as well. Okay, you can also skip the first statement. You can simply start searching from the another index. This is a major difference. Actually, both are not the equal statements. So search method cannot take a second start position argument. So what does it mean? So just in case of index of, what you are trying to do, just you are trying to search any variable. Let's suppose I'm gonna use it one more time. Okay, and you are trying to search is, right, and you will get is on top of index number 2, but you cannot. And now if you want to search in next occurrence of the is, just what you have done, just you have passed the 2 plus 1. What does it mean? 3. Now it will try to search your is from third index. So you cannot pass this particular method inside the search function. That's a one functionality you will find. And why we have to use search? Because in case of index of, you cannot use a regular expressions, but in case of search, you can use a regular expressions to search your pattern. Okay, so that's a major difference to understand between both of the functions, because most of the time some functions are look like the similar, but obviously you will find out there's some difference between the function as well if you're gonna look out all functions in a different way. Let's suppose if you want to swap any variable, right? So I can simply create a one basic program to swap my variable. If I want to do that particular thing, I can simply use methods here. Let's suppose don't save, and now create a new file here. Okay, let me dispose the earlier one, create a new one file. Oops. And we will discuss about the swap. Inside the swap, what I'm gonna do, so let me go back, and here I'm gonna mention the string, script. Okay, so the point, if you want to swap two variables, so there's a very basic program just we can simply do here to swap your variable. After that, we would be able to find the odd and even and the prime numbers and so on. We will discuss about the huge number of program as well. Okay, so let me create a one very basic program to understand how many ways there's a multiple method you can simply swap your variable using the XOR operator, using the normal temporary variable. Okay, and using also, you can also use a normal distracting assignment method as well, and you will find out that particular method in ECMA 6, right? So just to understand the method, actually just I'm gonna create one variable here, let a, and I'm gonna mention 10, or either you can also use a b as var as well. Okay, you have already know the difference between the lat and var, right? So now the point, oops, my bad, cancel. I have defined two variable here. Either you can also take the variable from the user using the prompt function, So we will discuss that function later. Just give me a moment for that. And what I need to do, just if you want to print the initial values of these value, right? If you can simply use document write or the console.log. I'm gonna use a console.log. Inside the console.log, I want to print a one string statement, guys. And now there's a multiple method to print your string statement. The first method, you can simply use the value of a before swap. Okay, just if you want to print, just comma, and you can simply pass the a here. Okay, and you'll be able to print the value. The another method, you can also use the another method. And what's the another method what I'm gonna use here? So I'm gonna use this method. Just look at this. I will use a backtick here. Okay, when you will use a backtick, just you can simply pass the value inside using the dollar operator. Just look like in Python. Okay, what it will do for you? So you don't have to use a double quotes, comma, and again. Just I have created one simple string. Inside the string, I have used a curly braces. And now whatever you're going to type inside the curly braces following with the dollar sign, that particular string is treated as a variable. Okay, so instead of printing b here, so it will print the value of the b. But just you have to understand, I have used this particular sign. Okay, and now you will get this particular sign on top of the tilde. Okay, what I have already told you. Just you have this method. So I'm gonna save. If you are able to see, I have to open the console as well. Okay, I have to click on go live. And open the console. Okay, so just look at this. You will get the 10 here. Okay, and you will get the 20 as well. So that's how it's worked. Now the point is, the value of the a is 10 and the value of the b was 20. Because here you are trying to print this is a integer value, but here it will convert into a string. That's why you are able to see look like this. What do you need to do? Let's suppose if you want to swap your variable, everybody know you can simply use a one temp method for that. Just you have to create a one temp variable and you can simply store the values inside this. Okay, so let me do ASAP. I will not take more time to inside this. Okay, everybody will know, and just you can simply store the temp value inside the p. Okay, so this is a very basic function. Let me copy and paste, and before, instead of before, I'm gonna mention after and after. So that's what I have done. So look at this. Just if you're gonna check it out, the initial value of the a was 10 and the initial value of the b was 20. After the swap, the value of a is become 20 and the value of the b is 10. So that's how what I have done. Just I have used a one temporary variable, and I have mentioned I have initialized the value of inside the temp. After that, I have changed the value of a, and again, once I have initialized the value of b inside the a, now my b is empty. I can simply assign the value of a what I have already stored inside the temp, and in the next statement, I have assigned the value of temp inside the b. So this is a one pretty forward method you can simply use to swap your variable. But instead of using this method, okay, so I'm gonna use a different method here, and that particular method will be might be easy instead of it. And what method actually I'm gonna use here? So just you can simply call that particular method is destructing method. Okay, destruct assignment method. Okay, and now you will find out this method in ECM6. Okay, so just I have to comment this line. Oh, I'm not using this. No, that's good. Now, if you want to swap your variable, okay, there's no need to create a one temporary variable. Just only what you need to do, just you have to use a square bracket. Okay, inside the square bracket, just you have to pass your values. What you need to do, just you can simply swap b comma a. Okay, that's how you'd be able to swap your variable using the destructing assign method. And now you would be able to swap your values. What I have done, just a comma b. What does it mean? I will be able to assign the value of b inside the a, and the value of the a will be inside the b. I'm gonna save and just look at your program. Still you are able to swap your variable. Initially the value of is 1020, after the 2010. So that's how you can simply use this method as well to swap your variable. So there's no need to use another temp variable, because if you're gonna use this method, so it will also take a memory in case of your memory. Okay. So there's some candidates have a doubt inside this statement, guys. Actually, in this statement, so both the statement are same. Okay, there's no issue. But the point is, sometimes let's suppose if you want to print this type of a statement, just look at the idea. Console.log, okay, the value of A, and you want to print the value of A. Again, just we have to use and B. Okay, so again and again, what you are trying to use A, B, and comma. So you have written multiple statement. Okay, there's no issue in this statement. It will execute and you will get the value of 20 and 10. That's good. But instead of using this method, what you can simply use here, so just you can simply use a backtick method of the string, and in this method, just you have to use a backtick. A backtick is a symbol you will find out on top of tilde button, right? This is not a single quote, just you have to understand. If you're going to differentiate, this is a single quote. Okay, so I have used a backtick instead of single quote. So I'm go back, and inside the backtick, just you can simply write the whole string. The value of A is A, and the value and B is B. Just what I have done. The point is, either just you can simply remove this. And now you want to print the value of A. If you want to use this method, so just it will print as it is. It will not, you would not be able to fetch the values of these variables. But what do you want to do? You want to do this particular A should behave like a variable, not a string. So for that, just we have to use this method. You have to use a curly braces, and before the curly braces, you have to pass a $sign. Using this method inside the backtick, that particular string will behave like a variable. Okay, now you would be able to fetch the value of this variable using this method. And now just look at the statement difference, and now there's no issue. Either you can simply use this method and this. So this is one more example to understand the string manipulations as well, because you have manipulate using the inside the string using the backtick method. Okay, that's how you can simply do all these things. Voice breaking. Am I audible, guys? Hello. Just okay, that's cool. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. So that's how, guys, you can simply print your string using a different methods, right? And now you can also use a arithmetic operator. Just you have to add both the numbers. Okay, there's a multiple method to swap actually. Okay, there's a 4 method you can simply use. We have already discussed 2 methods. Then you can simply do yourself the another 2 method as well. So we're gonna understand the concept of the conditional statement here, right? So let me open the one more program for the odd and even .html. So just what I need to do. So the point is, let's suppose when we will discuss about the conditional statement, okay, each and every programming language, we have already discussed about the operators, guys. And now what type of operator we will use here? Just double equal, right? And that we can also use in case of JavaScript triple equal. You know very well the difference because I have already explained, right? You can also use greater than and the less than. So all these are the operators we're gonna use inside the conditional statement. And how you would be able to use all these things in your statement? So let me show. So the first of all, let's suppose if you want to calculate the odd or even number. Let's suppose you want to calculate the number is odd or even. If you want to calculate the number is greater than and lower. If you want to authenticate a user in backend, okay, the username should be equivalent to the password. So there's a multiple method. Just you can simply use a odd and even formula there. Just we can simply use a conditional statements there, my bad. So the point is, what I need to do, let's suppose if you want to take a variable, I'm going to take a one variable. Okay, either you can simply use a prompt method. So what it will do for you, so I'm going to use enter a number. Okay, and what it will do, so let me dispose the earlier web page what I have opened. Okay, and now that's cool. So when I'm going to save, and what I'm going to do, just document.write, and I'm going to print the number as well. So these are the 2 statements I have written. One, I will save my statement here. Just click on go live. Okay. And now it will give you the one prompt to take a number using a JavaScript if you're going to use a prompt function for that. So now just you have to enter the number here. Let me enter the 10. Okay, and you are able to see 10 here. That's how you can simply use. If you want to take a two number, or either just if you want to calculate the number is odd or even, so what you can simply use here, just you have to use a conditional statement. And what the syntax you have to follow to check out the conditional statement. So I'm going to use few keywords here. So the first keyword I'm going to use if. Okay, after that we will also use the else as well. So both are the keywords of the JavaScript what I will use inside the conditional statement. So I'm going to use both of them. And what's the syntax to use? Just first of all, you have to use a if keyword, and instantly after the if keyword, just you have to give the expression. Okay, what text expression you want to pass. And if this particular expression will give you the true Boolean value, so you would be able to execute the body of if, and the body of the if you will define inside the curly braces. If the body of if will be false, so just you have to define one more body of else using the same set of curly braces. Okay, inside the else you will not define any text expression, only the else body will be executed when the if condition will be false. So that's you have to use the if and else along with the, just you have to use else along with the if in this way. So, and which text expression you want to check, just it's your choice. What do you want to do? Let's suppose I want to use a one text expression. Let's suppose if the number, I'm going to use a modulus operator, right? Now, what's the meaning of the modulus operator? It will give you the reminder. And what reminder? When I'm going to use this method, whatever you're going to use here, let's suppose I'm going to show the one example to understand, just don't be confused. Let's suppose if I'm going to mention 10% 3. So it will give you the one reminder. Just look at this. If I'm going to divide 10% 2, so it will give you the 0 reminder. That's how it works. So the point, I'm trying to divide my number along with the modulus, and now what value you will get from here if the value is equivalent to the 0. This is a conditional operator, equivalent conditional operator I have used. If the both the values will be 0, so what does it mean? Your value is an even number, right? Either you can simply use a alert method, guys. In using the alert method, just you can simply give another prompt to the user, or either you can simply write a one statement using the same thing. Okay, number is even, and what number you are trying to print? That's a number. In case if else is odd, just you can simply use this method. Okay, so that's how it will works. Let me execute one more time. Just enter a number. I'm gonna mention 10. The number is even, so I can simply comment this line. There's a no need for this line. Okay, and now here I'm gonna mention the 15 right now. So the number is odd 15. Give the space little bit here. That's cool. Again 12. 12 is even number, right? Just refresh again, and you wanna mention the 9 here. That will be number is a odd number. So just I have used a one very basic expression of the condition. Okay, we will discuss about the condition in next session as well. We will learn also about the loop into the next session. And now this is a one alert. If you're gonna use a alert here, just if you don't want to print your statement on top of web console, but you want to give a one alert to the user, just you can simply use this function here. What it will do for you, the number is even. Okay, if you want to give the number as well, just you can simply use the backtick method. It's your choice. There's a multiple method you can simply use. And if the number is odd, just you can simply print number is odd. That's cool. Save, enter a number. This is a one alert or prompt you will get. I'm gonna mention 10. Just look at this. You will get the number is even, right? You will get a one alert on top of your web browser. Execute again. 19, and now the number is odd. That's how you will get a one alert using this method. So you would be able to define the variable using the var in a global scope, and you can simply define the variable using the let in a local scope. Okay, and the one more thing you can simply know as if you have defined a one variable using the var, that particular variable defined as a global scope, and you would not be able to delete that particular variable as well using the delete. But if you have defined any variable using the let, you can also delete using the delete keyword there.